I want you to take a look at your managers. You will be working for these folks, okay? They are not the future, they're now. They're now. Because in our organizations, I believe it doesn't mean how long you've been around that makes you a leader. It's what you're ready to do. It's what you're able to do. It's how far you can stretch. Now, they have no idea what I'm going to ask them here, okay? But Richard and I are just going to do a couple of just real quick random questions over here. Madeline, okay?
Richmond, Virginia.
And where do you work?
Capital One Financial.
What's one thing that impacted you that you're taking away from the event to try to think about in learning?
So I manage high potential programs for future executives in technology, and it's all about the white glove experience of the learner. So I think I'm going to take back that feeling of hospitality.
And one of the conversations I had with somebody was they love high potentials, but they don't call them hypos, because all the people who are not are called low pos in that set. No, but how do we build that? Richard, find someone.
All right, so I'd love to hear, will you tell me, Jenna, what's something that you would, that you'd like to not hear as much talking about? Anything come to mind?
That's a great question, thank you. So we did a reverse mentoring session, and a question that kept coming up is, millennials, how do you learn? Millennials, how do I work better with millennials? And I think hearing that word over and over, we continue to talk about how we're different generations of people and learning professionals, and don't put us in a box that we're millennials. We're leaders and we are learners in all different ways with diverse experiences, just like all of you amazing people we've been talking with this week.
I will tell you, I feel more millennial than some of you are. No, I'm serious. Millennial to me is a point of frame in that sense. I don't have flip-flops because my feet don't look so good, but I do wear orange shoes and stuff like that. What's something you took away?
Well, first I would like to say I love your shoes because they're in the Dutch national color. So look at that.
Well, also from several universities in the South and Syracuse University.
That I don't know, but what I took away is, of course, everything from performance support to behavioral change with digital capabilities. What I really liked is how you can create learning communities to keep the learning going, so you never stop learning, and co-create with the people that are learning. Or I cannot say learners anymore. We're producers and they're users.
Now, do me a favor. This is a quick assignment. Turn to your neighbor for a moment. We're going to ask three of you, what's something that you want people who are over 30 to stop doing that's holding you back? Turn to your neighbor real quickly. Da do da do da do da do.
I'm spying.
Okay, Eric. Now, listen to Eric because his company Paycheck is paying your salary and he knows how to alter some things if need be. So what's something that the non-30 under 30s should stop doing that will enable your growth, development, leadership, and retention?
I think we should reframe that question to, I think they just need to trust us. They need to start trusting us more and giving us chances and giving us challenges and just build that relationship.
And while history is nice, it's an excuse to not innovate. I do not want to hear it didn't work 3 years ago. Of course it didn't, because you were in charge 3 years ago. And over here, Robin, what should they, from Fidelity, okay, which the money he takes out, we can invest in Fidelity. So what would you have them change?
I would say stop making assumptions. Kind of to your point, just because it didn't work 3 years ago, don't assume it won't work now.
Yeah,
Richard, find somebody.
All right, so I'm gonna come over to your side here for a second. Just shaking it up so people can see your shoes. Here's what I'd love to hear. I'd like you to think about one thing that you will do differently next week when you get back to work because of a conversation or an experience that you had here.
Hello, I'm Talisa Torres from KPMG, and something that I'm going to do differently is not be so stuck on timelines, but really think about, are we reaching our goals? I got that from the pit crew experience of you really need to teach people how to learn and not just throw it at them because they're not going to retain it or be successful.
Thank you. That's
Okay,
great. Thank
and
you.
then we're going to wind down with some quizzes. Okay, so you'll raise your hand. Okay, how many of you hope to be promoted in the next 24 months?
Oh, me too.
Okay, now this is a tough one if your boss is in the audience. So if it is, wiggle your toes and say, how many are likely in 24 months to work somewhere else? Okay. How many of you are reading a book that's printed on paper right now? Okay. Okay. How many of you are singing with Leslie yesterday, the Hamilton song? Okay. And how many of you, when you go bowling, blow up the lanes on either side for better score? That's called performance support in that product. On behalf of Richard and I and the folks here, I don't want to say thank you. I want to tell you, go get it. Change learning. I can't, as a 68-year-old, change it. All I can do is follow you. Go make it happen. Don't wait. Don't wait for permission. Go do it. Ladies and gentlemen, our 30 under 30. Thank you.